Hi everyone, welcome back to another video.
So in today's video, we're going to be sharing our top 10 must-know tips and kind of bits and bobs and information about the island of Tenerife. Gofko was living here for 3 years before we met, and now we've been living together for like 2 months. So I know the island a little bit. He knows it basically like a local. He's gone around Tenerife doing many different things.
Almost like the palm of my hand.
Yes. So we made like a comprehensive, very detailed list with things that we believe are going to be useful for you in case you're planning your first or your next trip to Tenerife.
First thing, Tenerife has many climates, so you have to come with clothes for all those climates. So first you can go to the south and have like 35 degrees of sunshine,
Especially if it's during the summer season.
yeah, but then suddenly you decide to go up to the mountain. It is the highest mountain in Spain basically, and it's maybe with 10 or 15 degrees lower, so you have to be prepared not only with summer clothes but maybe some jacket or thick sweater or even rainy jacket.
And also even here in the south, we live in El Médano. During the evening it definitely gets chilly. Right now it's the month of March and we're going into April, and in the evening I can't just wear a little dress and go outdoors. I definitely need like jeans, or if it was a really warm day maybe I can wear some kind of dress, but I definitely want to put like a little jacket on top. So just pack things that are diverse, that will work for different climates, different temperatures, and different activities. I know that sounds a little overwhelming, and if you're coming here on a short trip with like a small luggage, that's a little bit of a challenge, but it's something very important in order to feel comfortable and enjoy your experience here.
Yeah. The second thing, probably the most important thing, is you need to have some kind of a vehicle. Either a rent-a-car, or if you want to stay for long or even settle here, it's mandatory to have a car to move around and explore places. But if you don't feel like investing or even spending so much money for a car to rent, you can just go with the public transport. It's gonna bring you to some places, but that's not gonna cover all the beautiful hidden places that you can explore by car.
Yeah, I think it's amazing that we have public transport here. Before, in the past, when I've lived in islands and like more remote or tropical places, there was no public transport at all, which was difficult for me as I don't drive. But here I think our daily life is a mixture of using the public transport to go somewhere nearby and to know that you can't really rely on it 100% of the time, and at the same time grabbing the car and being able to have that independence and freedom and flexibility and go somewhere 30-40 minutes away, even 1 hour away, because the island has so much to offer, which is bringing us to the next point.
So the next point is, if you want to have the full experience of Tenerife, you might as well want to book to sleep in 2 different areas. For example, you can have a few days accommodation in the south. That could be in El Médano if you really like a little bit of fresh air and windy places, or you can go to Los Cristianos, where it's a little bit more sunny and less windy. Actually, there's almost no wind there most of the time. Or if you want to go to the north to experience the real true local culture of Tenerife, you should go to Puerto de la Cruz. There is a little bit more lively town, and the towns around. Or you can go to Bajamar if you want to experience a really true surf vibe in Tenerife.
I want to experience that. I think we still haven't gone to Bajamar together.
Yeah, I leave the best for last.
So basically what we're saying is, of course, if you're coming here for a longer period of time, you will probably organize yourself and make sure you go to different areas and do different things. But even if you're coming here for just 5, 6, 7, 8 days, the best way to go, according to us, is to book one place for a couple of nights in the south and one place for a couple of nights in the north.
Yeah.
And while you're staying in those respective places, just explore the areas and activities in that part of the island.
Yeah, but that depends on your vacation. What do you want to do with your chosen week to to relax in Tenerife. Either you want to do activities regarding kitesurfing and surfing, or you just want to hike and do other things, which brings us to the next point.
Yeah, our next point is probably my favorite one, and it is that this is like a super active and quite developed island with so many different activities that you can choose from. I'm myself a little overwhelmed by that because I like all of these activities, so I always want to be going to places and doing things. But you can do mountain biking, road biking, stargazing, whale watching, snorkeling, surfing, kite surfing, wing foiling, windsurfing, eating. We said hiking. I don't know if we said hiking. There's just so many things to do here.
You can go paragliding. It's one of the meccas of paragliding here in the Canary Islands.
I don't think that in a week you will be able to try all of those, but I guess do a deeper research on your own, figure out what your priorities are, and then kind of organize your accommodation and your stays according to those areas and those activities. But we really encourage you to try at least once, if you've never tried it before, surfing or kite surfing while you're here. I think it's very, very special that this island offers conditions for both surfing and wind sports like wing foil, windsurf, kite surf. Not many places in the world actually offer that.
Yeah.
Usually the wind and the waves kind of clash.
Always on one side.
And they're not together. But here you have both. And El Médano is a perfect example of that, but you can also try surfing in other areas like Gofko said, Bajamar, Las Americas, and so on.
Yeah. Next point is also quite related to activities. It is very family-friendly island, so if you think or search for a place that you can go just one plane away from Europe and bring your family along with kids, it's a very good place for that, because you have, as we said already, we have a lot of activities, and most of those that we just said are just for adults, but for kids we have maybe one of the biggest aqua parks in Europe. We have a very nice and funny, I know nobody likes zoos and this kind of stuff, but it's very nice and funny zoo for the kids.
What do you mean funny zoo? What do you mean?
Because there is a lot of different animals that are brought here by the humans, but there is also a lot of animals that are rescued from the sea and put into the zoo so they can live a longer life. There is also a monkey park that it's with different species of monkeys. There is also a little rainforest in the north that there is zip lines and rope park, very funny for the kids. And yeah, surfing, super fun also for the kids.
Yeah, I think surfing small waves can be done pretty much
Everywhere.
Since the age of like 2. Like as soon as they start walking, you can put them on a surfboard.
As soon as they can swim.
Of course, as soon as they can swim, you can put them on a surfboard and have some fun with that, with little waves. And if they're 10 years or older, you can also put them on a kite. And yeah, send them to a kite lesson. Why not?
Yeah. Up to the next point, the food on the island is amazing. The local food I personally like because, as I said, I've been here for a long time, 3 years, and I know which food I like, which food I don't like from Tenerife. But Yasmin, for example, the other day I brought her to a tapas place. We took a typical
traditional
tapas,
Canarian tapas place.
and she did not like it. But it's around fish and potatoes and
meat,
a lot of meat actually,
a lot of bread.
and it is a lot of varieties of restaurants on the island. There are like Peruvian restaurants, there is a lot of steakhouses on the other side, on the west side of the island.
A lot of Venezuelan restaurants, like we said, we love arepas and tequeños.
Yes. What else? There is a lot of Italian restaurants, obviously, because the island is kind of attacked.
It has a huge Italian community here. Most of the people in our life here are Italian, actually, which I was personally a little surprised by. But yeah, like Gofko is saying, The food is amazing and there's just many different cuisines to choose from. Even though the Canarian traditional food isn't necessarily my favorite one, and still I've only tried a couple of dishes and I do want to try more, I still encourage you to try and see for yourself, because people have different tastes, and I'm sure that there's like a very rich and interesting history and kind of cultural side as to why and how these kinds of dishes were created by the locals, and you know, they enjoy them to this day.
But for this you need to come here and find out for yourself. In addition to this point, there is a lot of local wines made in Canary Islands, because the soil here is very rich of minerals. So all the wineries are super rich of what do you call it? Nice and tasty grape types. So they make very nice wines, and they're very well known for the rich wines from Canary Islands.
I've heard that the wine from Lanzarote is better than the wine from here, from Tenerife.
Yeah,
is
because
that
there is
true? Maybe
yeah,
that can be a little
yeah.
recommendation for people.
Yeah.
And going to restaurants as well is kind of affordable. I wouldn't say it's super cheap, but compared to most countries in Europe, it's definitely quite affordable, and there's this very big culture of eating outside.
Yeah, you have to also like keep in mind it's still part of Spain, so you're 1 hour ahead of Barcelona. You still can use your health insurance from Europe over here in Spain and not worry of trouble with the health insurance over here. And the last point would be that it's super suitable for digital nomads and people that like active style of living, especially on a warm place like Canary Islands and especially Tenerife, because all the rest of the points is just a paradise. Now I brought her here and I show that paradise is really real and it exists. And do you agree?
Yeah, I love it here.
You see, you should come and visit.
So these were some of our tips for your next trip to the Canary Islands, especially to the island of Tenerife. We really hope that you guys can find this video useful when you're researching and booking to come here, and we hope to see you here. Bye!